Hello Gemmers, welcome to part 4 in our Ice Mountain video journal. We left off with me beginning the second coat of paper mache with the blue dye in it, and here's where I'm on it at this point. I think it was about 20 hours later that this is where I got second coat on all the important stuff. Now here I finally made those sitting areas for around the fire pit. I used the blocks like I did in the lounge area and newspaper to build it up. So here I am with regular paper mache, because now I have to cover that and then of course do a second coat. Some areas I did do a third coat. Well, I guess I wasn't done doing some paper mache, so here I am at it again with a sore back. It's been my goal to get this done this week, so I'm working solely on this project. I hope you're enjoying it. Alex was just taping me, doing my thing, smoothing down the stuff. There will be a second part to this, or another part, the last part. Finally, I'm really caught up with it in real life, but it was getting too long. So here we are, just laughing and having a good old time while I'm doing the project in front of my door, kind of hoping nobody knocks on it. So there you see, just lots and lots of paper mache. Could it be? Oh yes, finally, here I am, a span down, and I am finally done with all this paper mache. What a job that was. So where am I at the count? I think I'm at about 50 hours maybe into that, over an extended period of time, of course. But my back was hurting a lot through this project, and I was wanting to smack myself for wondering, why did I come up with these things? But in the end, I'm happy and I'm glad. So I'm just showing you that everything, every square inch besides the elevator things, are now covered. Shout outs, thank you SPF family. So here I am now. I finally got to do some fun stuff. Well, I got to do some prep first. On that shiny foam board, nothing stuck to it. Sometimes that worked to my advantage, sometimes it didn't, and I had to do extra work. In this case, it worked out well, and I just wanted to clean up the edges and make that a little smoother, although I'm going to cover it in the future to make it not so distinct of a line. I just want to get out what might be put on top of it and then just crumble off. So here I just got a paper towel with a little dampness to it, and I'm just wiping and scratching off all the flower contraption that might be there and in the way. That just doesn't take too long, but needs to be done. Prep is very important. It takes a lot of time, but it really makes the end product look so good. So I'm kind of detail oriented that way. And here I have some issues on some of the floors. They're kind of cracking a little bit, and I don't want that to show. Paint will not cover up cracks and holes. If you jam it in there and put a whole bunch, it will fill it, but it just doesn't look good. So I'm just taking some time to lightly sand off any rough edges that my wrists or hands might hit if I was playing in the area, and brushing it off. And then I'm going to put a little bit of Mod Podge on it, and that is just on the areas that I want to seal any cracks or lifting, and make that, again, the end product look good and much better, especially the floors. I want those to be smooth so the dolls don't fall over. I was kind of laughing at myself because remember that sparkleizer set? At least that brush came in handy for something. Yeah, that was from the Crystal Winter set, remember? Yeah, this would be a great project for a Crystal Winter type thing too. Anyway, here I am just making sure that I get all the floors nice and smooth. Shout outs. And I made sure I made all that Mod Podge go right into all the cracks and lifts. Today is a happy day. I'm finally being able to prime. That primer's the best, by the way. It's good for so many things. You know, I've been preaching about that since this channel started. And yeah, just excited. I get to prime. And look, I got primer. It's not completely done at this point, but there's me just spanning over it, showing you now without the newspaper showing. Great feet. Sorry about that. I couldn't help it. Of course, laying down here is about the only way I can do the top. And oh, there I am, priming away. Prime. And I'm happy. very happy. Yeah, taking away that newspaper look really was so encouraging and really got my butt in gear wanting to do it. It was encouraging and exciting. Primer on this project was really important so that it doesn't keep getting the paper mache wet. It also, believe it or not, it's an extra step, but it saves you on paint because it seals it, and then you don't have to do layers and layers of paint to get the coverage. Ooh, right there, I was doing the sign, priming that while I was here. There. So here I am with Abby's little dress colors, and I'm just mapping out my colors, trying to give myself a visual on where I want to put things. Even this little bit kind of shows me, is what I'm planning working? Is it going to work? Do I need to change things? Is things pulled apart enough, not touching? All that good stuff that comes with planning the colors. On the inside, I'm going to use the pearlized white, and on the outside, to make a difference between the inside and the outside, I'm going to use a different sheen of white, more flat. I got ideas here for the ceiling, and I got ideas here. I want to darken up the dance club area, so, you know, it just seems like that's the way it should be. And I got that little piece of art, having a visual on that. In the little tunnel, I want to give it just a little bit of different tone, just so it sets apart and doesn't get lost in there. A lot of this is not going to show as good on video. So that is why I thought showing this now would be important, because yeah, there's definitely going to be a lot lost when the flash hits it later when we do the reveal. But check this out. I started playing with the colors and the pearl white. Let me tell you, this, I wanted to speak this one in real time because I don't want to forget. This pearl finish is gorgeous and a great paint. It's so thick. You can see the difference. Here I was mapping out the ice skating rink. So I'll just match up to there with all these puffy paints. I'll play, base coat it, and then put that on. But you can see the difference. That's just one coat. It's pretty amazing. So I was playing around with the colors. Of course, I couldn't leave it white. It was just too much. So I started playing with the paint and I put it on that way and I did it thin, and I actually on purpose thought I'm going to leave it that way because it looks, these aren't painted walls, it's painted ice, right? Like snow cone. So I thought that, and then I tested putting glitter on top of it, and then it looked better and I was good with that and figured that's what I was going to do. But then over here I covered some of it with the pearl, and I really like that. So I think that's what I'm gonna do, is just keep that there, put some of this on top, and that'll give me the look I want. It actually worked out well, so these lines will be making sense, if that makes sense. I'm gonna still do some touch-ups. I haven't done these side ones here yet, and I still have to paint back there. And I don't quite like this part. I think I'm going to paint over that white. But still playing. And oh, is it ever fun and wonderful after all this work to finally see some color on it. So let's get back to the rest of the video. Oh, wait a minute. Let's have a peek at this with that in. Also, these look like that in there, which look pretty good. I'm not going to be able to paint this because to get in these cracks and try and get in there, it's not going to happen. So it's only going to be some small fix-ups to these, like painting that and that. I'm going to have to get that done and get those set in and then caulk around them so they'll look good. Okay, back to the rest of the video. The ice skating rink has many layers, and I wanted to show it. This is the base coat because this is similar to what I did in the beach with the water. Second coat was a color to bring it some lift, and then this next coat was just a little bit of glitter to give it some shine, and then I'm going to thicken it up with kind of translucent puffy paint. I think I did 3 coats of that. And then I add the shiny pearlescent one. I think I added 3 more coats of that. And then I'm going to end it with probably 3 coats of polyurethane, and that will give it a shine over top of it all and make it look like it actually has depth, like ice. The difference was I didn't brush it out when I did the water. And right here I am, what am I doing? I'm making a pattern, and I didn't show that in the first part with the lounge seating, so I thought I'd show that now. I just press the paper in there, get my fingernail in there, and push it down so it kind of takes the shape of the area I'm trying to make an odd pattern for, and then get my pencil, cut it out. There you have an easy pattern. So with that pattern, of course, I use it, check it, make sure it fits, then trace it against this sticky tack that I was going to use for the floors, and thank goodness I didn't, because it was very much like foil, and it didn't, it even felt like tissue paper. It didn't stick very well. So I'm glad I ended up using it for a different purpose, such as this. I did put a little glue behind it just to make sure it stays, and somewhere up here I'm going to show I used it up on the top left to finish off the area. So that just has to be stuck in, and we got a little more depth to that area with the snow hill. Okay, so I did the same idea for these areas. One was foam board, one was cardstock, same thing. And then that was the side I was talking about. So to take away that foam board square look, I added a little to the left. I put some caulking in the corner to bring that together, even though we won't see it that much. I just want it to look good in the background. And then I take caulking because I want it to look set in. If you look at the right, it just looks cut out. I want it to blend in and meld like it's ice, right? So I caulk around it and make it look a little more set in. That's white now, it'll dry clear, but then of course later I have to cover it up. So I'm using some white as kind of a prime coat on it just to get my lines. And here you can definitely see the difference. To me anyway, it meant something to me that it looked more blended and melded into the piece. I'm really excited because at this point we are definitely taking away the townhouse square look and making it look like something more. More shout outs. Thank you, SPF family. While all that is drying, I'm working on some other things. There's that piece of art from Summer Lee. I am putting puffy paint on it to build it up and so I can make it look blended into the wall. Over here I'm in the garage and I'm spray painting. I'm doing the bar and the elevator and the sign all at the same time, and I'm going to show that in a separate video because that piece of the bar unit might work for any project, so I want to have that separate to be able to be searched and found. So for now I'm going to leave this here because it's getting kind of lengthy, and we'll see you next time on part 5, which will come quicker than the rest have. See you then.